Hello, this is Alka and this is a tutorial on building Windows Store app with XAML. We basically go through few controls and see how we can add an event handler for the click event of button control. Proceeding, we see how data binding can be done, and at the end we see how we can add an app bar to our application. So let me start up Visual Studio. Click on File, New, Project. I give a meaningful name, tutorial, that is part 2 of building Windows Store app using XAML. XAML is basically a markup language that is used to specify the user interface but in a declarative way. XAML, you can consider it as a object instantiation language or environment. So double click on main page.xaml. This is the toolbox. It contains the list of all the possible controls. And if you are unable to view this, go to View and click on Toolbox. This is the XAML view and the designer view. This is getting loaded now. So you can see here page. Page here is a container that holds the grid. So page is not the base visual of our application. Grid is the base visual. And also observe that an element which is opened should be closed. Let me adjust the zoom. Now let me drag and drop the button control onto my designer. So you can see here IDE has automatically generated the corresponding XAML code. So I want to add an event handler for the click event for this element. So the things you see here like content, horizontal alignment and so on and so forth, they are properties of the element of type button. Button here basically is a class, or any control here is considered as a class. So to add a click event to this button, just go and click this button on Solution Explorer, that is the properties. So once properties window is visible, just click on the element whose properties you want to see. So if you click on this button, you'll get the list of all the possible events on that particular control. So as I wish to create an event handler for click event, let me double click in the text field against the click. When I double click, I am automatically taken to a code behind file of that particular page. In this case it is main page.xaml.cs, and you can see this is the event handler which is created, button underscore click. As we have not named the control, this is the default name given by the IDE. So sender here is the object that caused the event to occur, and you can see E here is nothing but it is used to set or get the reference to the object which caused the event. Okay, so let me show a pop-up when I click on this button. So in order to show a message dialog in my application, I have to use a namespace using windows.ui pop-ups. So message dialog, message equal to new message dialog, and I pass a string which I wish to be shown on the button click. Say hello. Let me make this method asynchronous. When you make a method asynchronous, you are basically asking it basically still interacts with the UI even though it is waiting for some other operation to get completed. So await message dot show async. Show async method here basically starts an asynchronous operation of showing the message dialog. So this is it. Let me save my work and execute my application. When you click on the button, you'll have a dialog box here, and one special feature is you cannot interact with the rest of the application until you are done with the dialog box. So when I click on close, I can interact with the other part of the application. I am back. Now let us include a slider here and say a rectangle here. Yep. Now I name the slider, name slider 1. Name is nothing but an ID given to the control. So rectangle, now what I wish to do here is I want the width of the rectangle to be equal to the value of the slider. So the user can change the slider value and accordingly the width of the rectangle must change. That means I am binding these two elements, that is I am binding slider and rectangle. So to do that, because I want the width of the rectangle to change according to the value of the slider, let me do binding path is equal to value and element name will be slider 1. So path equal to value here basically specifies the property name from which the value is being taken, and element name, it specifies to what this particular element is binding to. So in this case it is binding to a slider whose name is slider 1. So save your work and execute it, Control F5. So I change the width. Yes. Back to Visual Studio. Now I'm going to add an app bar for my application. So for that I use tags of page dot top app bar or accordingly bottom app bar if you wish to add a bottom app bar. Page dot top app bar, and within these tags I include tags of app bar. Close it. Yep. Now I want my app bar to have 3 buttons. So let me include I want my app bar to have 3 buttons. Now, yep, it says the property content can only be set once. So let me place all the 3 buttons in a stack panel. This way. So I have placed 3 buttons in a stack panel. Now say I want to use predefined styles. So these predefined styles are in the common folder in the standard styles.xaml file. Let me open up this. Let me close my toolbox. If you scroll down, you'll see a large commented area. So these are the predefined styles. You can see no app bar button style, yes app bar button style, more app bar button style. Let me say I'm using these 3. I will copy this and place it here. Basically I'm uncommenting the styles. Now I use the key to specify this in my buttons. So yeah, these are the buttons and the style is going to be static resource and I mention the key. So as you can see in the designer also, it has got a predefined style. Similarly, style we are done, but if you look at the designer, this is the way they are arranged, but I do not wish to do it that way, so I'll change the orientation to horizontal. Yep, it seems much better. Now I save my work and say Control F5, and when I right click I get the app bar. A similar procedure can be used for a bottom app bar. So in this tutorial we have seen few controls. We have added an event handler for click event for the button control. We have seen data binding between 2 elements and also how to add an app bar to our application. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.